Hi guys, so a lot of you have been sending me questions either via Facebook or Messenger about what do you do to set up a home studio if you don't have any of this lovely equipment. So I'm going to show you first of all the setup that I am lucky enough to have at home because I own a studio, and so I've got access to this quite a bit. And what we tend to do an awful lot of, especially in yin, I know a lot of you have been joining in our yin videos, is we want this sort of setup. So we've got a normal foam block, so a yoga foam block. These are also quite light. I've got 3 of these. As you can see, I use these quite a lot. This is a bolster, and these are really expensive, so I wouldn't recommend you just go out and spend £45 on one of these. But they're great for yin when we're lying back, when we've got support under our knees or our lower back or our hips. This is a yoga belt or a strap. It's called a D-ring one, so it holds. It can be pulled when it's taut. We also have an eye pillow, which is, you can use these for quite a few things really. You can put them in the fridge so that they're cool. Especially great if you're hot or you've got a bit of a headache. And you can either use them over your forehead. This one's filled, I think this is rice, or yeah, it's rice, this one, and scented with lavender. Or you can use it over your eyes. You can use it in maybe on the back of your neck if you're doing work that's prone, and you can put it in your hands. So there's quite a lot of things you can use this for. We then have over here a sandbag. These aren't they're not used a great deal, but I love mine because it adds weight sometimes to my belly if I'm not feeling great. I use it over my feet when I'm practicing yin. I might use it over my lower back in child's pose. And last but not least, this is my lovely yoga blanket. You can use this again for lots of different things, like covering you up just to keep you warm. It can be used as a support underneath your head, maybe under your lower back. Again, when I'm not feeling great, it can sit quite really well over my belly. And then obviously underneath all of this is a yoga mat. So guys, now we're going to show how, if we haven't got access to these, hopefully what you will have is a lot of household items that we can use instead. So we're going to start from the bottom end of the mat and work our way up. So we're going to start off with the blanket. Now this is obviously a yoga blanket, but it's, it's just a blanket. So this is a beautifully coloured one because it's meant to be the colour of the chakras. It's warm and it's not too heavy. But we haven't got a blanket like a yoga blanket, then, this blanket will do. This is the blanket from the end of my bed. So it's exactly the same. It's a little, actually very similar shape, and it's light. I don't like too much weight unless I'm in a really cold room. So we just put this in place of that. To be fair, I'm absolutely dreading the next thing coming towards me, and you'll see why in a sec. So, blanket, the one that's on my bed. Then move on to, this is a sandbag. This is what I use to weight. It's really lovely over my belly. As I said before, it's also good to weight the shoulders, legs, the hips. So if you haven't got one of those, because not many people have, and then instead we can use this. This is one that I made earlier. This is a towel, and I just unwrap with the towel just to show you what's in it. Okay. 2 bags of rice. As per my earlier conversation, I ended up with tons of these, but you can use dried lentils, anything like that really. Just make sure that they don't come out. But it's also sort of similar weight that's quite pliable. So instead of the sandbag, we're going to go with the little rice and towel combo. I'm going to move up now to the eye pillow, and this was made by a lovely friend of mine. This one, I think it feels like rice anyway, as I said before, a little bit of lavender, so we'll put that out the way. And then we have this one. Okay, this is a soft pink sock filled with rice, has this particular rice here, and also the sacred stones that we were lucky enough to get from the Henaden. These are gorgeous, these ones. But you've got a little bit of lavender. You can use lentils again if you haven't got any rice, and any sort of smell that is relaxing to you, or by all means uplifting. You just need a little bit more of uplift. I'm trying to think. Orange and any citrusy type of oil, really, really nice for making you feel a little bit better. So there's our eye pillow. We then have the yoga belt, of which I have quite a few upstairs. Again, and you don't have to use these normal belt. Actually, this is Jenny's. This is the super tiny one. It might not be actually, but because she's got a teeny tiny waist. So instead of using the yoga belt, you can use a strap, a normal belt, or a dressing gown belt. I quite like this because it's fairly soft, but this one you may need a little bit of extra support if you're using them around your knees. So easy peasy. We then move on to these sort of flatter yoga foam blocks. We have, here's one I made earlier. So you can see they're quite a similar size, but you can also use two. They're quite sturdy, so you do want to have a little bit of support, so they're not like a feather cushion. We do want that to be supportive, so anything you've got that's a little bit flatter and a little bit firmer will work really well. And they are in place of the foam block. Now this one can be a tough one to emulate, so I've had to have a little think about this one. One of the nice ways of using something that you've got at home, because these are expensive and not easily filled up at the moment, is to use this beautiful thing. This is basically a big old bath sheet, but you can also use like a cotton sheet or a sheet off your bed if you haven't got something big enough. And inside there I have a lovely squishy feather pillow, and all I've done is roll it up into a sausage, tied it tightly at the end so it looks a little bit like a Christmas cracker, with some ribbon and then another dressing gown belt. John actually always goes mad at me. I do have about, I don't know, 10 dressing gowns on the back of the door, so I'm able to use these. Under here you can use, instead of these blocks here, which I do really love, here I'll show you all the setup when we're finished. Move that out the way. So then we have these other foam blocks which we use, and they can be underneath the arms or again underneath the back of the bolster, and instead quite simply books. Okay. Now, as you know, I'm a huge fan of cooking, so we have tons and tons of books. I've got books all over the place, so if you know me really well, know that's why most of them are in the studio, because John hates me having them. So you can use these. They can be of a similar size, they can be of a different size. What I'm going to do now is build back up using everything that is from the home, so to speak. So I'll go for a sec. So first of all, we have the books, so that's adding the bit of the loop. And then you can see that the bolster's going to go over the top there. You've then got a firmer, you can use one or two. We have the eye pillow. It smells so nice with those gorgeous sacred stones. If you need an extra one, here you can have one. We have our yoga belt. Just in case we need a little bit of extra support for the knees, let me just move that to one side. We have our towels filled with rice, and then we have our normal blanket. So we've basically gone from a lot of yoga equipment that does take a little while to build up. It's not the cheapest at the moment either, and we've got now a nice homemade yoga prop set up. So any more questions? Both Jenny and I have been trying to figure out other things that we can use. So any questions, any comments, or anything that you're using at home at the moment to help would be greatly appreciated. So thanks for tuning in, and hope